What is going on, FA Nation? John Pepe here with Howard Bender. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm MLB DFS Game Day Playbook Show. We are looking at a 9-game Monday slate here, Howard. You and I were talking right before we hit live. Today's pitching is it's going to be one of those days where we work our way through the rotation. A couple of top names, but a lot of unknowns or new names that we're going to be taking a look at today.
Yeah, today's definitely going to be an interesting day to say the least, because you've got a lot of soft rookie pitchers throwing against some really top lineups. So, that's going to be the question of whether or not we can find enough value pitching to, in order to get some bigger bats into our lineups. But I think we got a couple of really good spots. So let's just jump right into it. First and foremost, thank you so much for tuning in here to the Fantasy Alarm MLB DFS live stream. Hit that like and subscribe button for us. It's a nice free way for you guys to show your appreciation. So top pitching, John, Tyler Glasnow, Merrill Kelly, Frankie Montas. Those are the three most expensive pitchers. I love Glasnow here against the Washington Nationals. I'm lukewarm on Kelly with the Cubs, but I do like Frankie Montas against Seattle. We keep saying it, right? Seattle keeps Seattling, and the strikeout numbers are just, they're getting crazy.
Well, that's what it is, right? You can go ahead and pay the $11,000 for Tyler Glasnow today if you can find the value. Obviously, he has been worth it. He gets 7 shutout, 14 strikeouts against Minnesota. We know that's in his bag. He is an elite strikeout pitcher. Love that he even got to 100 pitches against the Giants 2 starts prior. So it shows that they're willing to at least give him some of that leash there. Now, he only needed 88 pitches to get through the 7 innings before they took him out against Minnesota, but he go for 46 fantasy points on DraftKings. There's a reason why he is $11,000 on this slate. But what's the one thing we talk about with the Washington Nationals, right? They're a team that does not tend to strike out a lot. They drive up pitch counts. I don't love that in this spot here for Glasnow. I understand what his potential can be, but if that team, like the Nationals, continues to fight off pitches and not strike out and rack up pitch counts on pitchers, then Glasnow is not going to pay off that price point here. Right now, the Nationals on the year sitting at just a 22% strikeout rate. That's 16th in baseball. It's a couple of fraction points ahead of really the bottom of the league there. So I'm probably not spending up for Glasnow on this slate outside of maybe a one-off GPP, just because I don't know if he's going to get there to pay off an $11,000 price tag when there is some more favorable spots on this slate. You mentioned Merrill Kelly at 94, Frankie Montas at $9,000. Seattle on the season, they've been taken over as the top strikeout team by 0.1%. The Athletics are now the number 1 highest team strikeout rate at 29.1%. Seattle is at 29%. So basically, just as bad as they've been all season long. I was very skeptical on Frankie Montas coming into this season. He faced Washington, shut them down, held his own against Philadelphia. Milwaukee got roughed up a little bit there, but in Seattle, a favorable pitcher's park. I definitely agree with you. I think Montas is going to drive some interesting rostership today.
Yeah, the things about with Montas is that we keep looking at what his numbers have looked like over the last 2 seasons. And we forget about the fact that, he's been hurt the entire time. He got hurt the moment he left Oakland.
Yeah.
All right. And so he's been working his way back. So that's why I'm willing to give him a shot at 9,000. But I'll give him a shot over, hoping that George Kirby figures stuff out, because he's been terrible.
Yeah.
Joe Musgrove going up against Milwaukee. I know Christian Yelich likely to be out, and that's the main driving force in that lineup. But I'd rather pay down to Sonny Gray going up against the Oakland A's at 8,500 than to do that. Like a Montas Gray sort of a situation for me definitely works. I could also go with Seth Lugo for the Royals going up against the White Sox. Good strong win equity there, as long as he's got Nick Nastrini is on the mound for he's getting called up to throw a start here against the Royals. So I kind of feel like that Gray-Lugo tandem is a nice way to play.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Obviously, I'd like to know if there's a cap, a different cap on the Sonny Gray pitch count. He was limited to 65 pitches in that last start. He got to 64, tossed 5 shutout innings against Philadelphia. So he looked as good as ever. And now he's got Oakland I would like to know if maybe he's getting to 80 pitches here, so we get a little bit more of a leash for him to rack up some fantasy points, assuming that all things go as well as they did last time. I agree with you. I think $8,500 is a good look. And yeah, Lugo, Washington or Chicago, Oakland, Seattle. These are teams we've been picking on earlier in the this year. So Lugo's been fine. I would like to see the strikeout numbers tick up a little bit more. I mean, he's gotten a win in his last 2 starts. He's only racked up 17 and 12 fantasy points. Mid 8Ks, you want to get in the 20 fantasy point range there. So, against, I would hope the strikeouts would start to come a little bit more. Chicago, though, only 23% strikeout rate against right-handed pitching on the season. Everything else sucks. They can't hit the ball, but for whatever reason, they're not striking out as much. I think it's probably because all their swinging miss bats ended up getting hurt, right? Like, Makata's out of the lineup and Roberts
gone. Eloy's gone.
So some of those big strikeout guys are out of their lineup right now. You go down into the mid tier again. This is where it gets a little bit interesting. Are you a believer in Martin Perez? He's been off to a hot start. We've seen him go on runs before where he's been a pretty dominant starting pitcher. Only $7,600 here. Gets some Mets lineup, which I know has some guys that can hit lefties. Alonso hits lefties. Lindor's better against left-handed pitching, but Martin Perez, 7 and 6 strikeouts, did pitch pretty well against Detroit and Washington and Miami to start the year. And the Mets offense still a bit iffy at times.
Every time I look to Martin Perez and think, hey, why not? It doesn't happen. So I'm just going to avoid it altogether.
Okay. Totally understandable. Yeah, totally understandable. And to that point, again, against left-handed pitching this year, the Mets are one of the best teams. Second in team WOBA at 361. They have a 184 ISO, good for 4th, and their batting average is 3rd at 291. So definitely a team that can hit lefties. We know that, but Martin Perez, he's a soft-throwing lefty. Gets bad contact and has shown the ability. I think wasn't he an all-star at Texas? He
was, because he ended up on a hot start and he made the all-star team. But I mean, come on, it's still Martin Perez. I'd rather pay down for Luis Hill against the Blue Jays. I know it's not a great ballpark, and I know that we're all kind of waiting for Chris Bassett to turn things around. But with the way this Yankee lineup has been hitting, and the fact that they're all across the board, their plate appearances are much, much better. They're all taking their cue off of Juan Soto, who grinds out every single plate appearance that he has. So I'd rather take a look at that, as Toronto's been struggling with the bats, plenty lately as well. Yeah, you've got Bichette and Guerrero, but I think you can pitch around those two.
I agree with you. Really, the only number that stands out for Toronto against right-handed pitching is their walk rate. They have a 10% walk rate on the year. Some of that just has to do with the pitchers they're facing. Is not not with a ton of control. Now, Luis Hill does have 7 walks in 9 innings this year, so also not great. But the rest of those numbers for Toronto against right-handed pitching, not at all good. It is still early in the season. Any other value pitching? I mean, you have Stripling at 6K.
No. I won't go below Luis Hill tonight. I mean, look at some of the names that are out there. Ben Brown, good prospect, but he's going up against the Diamondbacks. Spencer Arrighetti, possibly a decent prospect, going up against the Braves. We said Nick Nestrini's going up against the Royals, and they're actually, real hot right now.
Right.
Stripling, I can't trust. Mitchell Parker, I'm reading off these names: Adrian Hauser, Joe Ross. I'm reading off all of these names, and it feels like the opening of the movie Major League, where they're sitting there going,
"This guy's dead."
Cross him off.
Yeah,
right? It's like Mitchell Friedman, So I mean, I'm gonna not go. I know you might, want to look to somebody a little lower. I can't.
No, listen. Last season we did talk a lot about the 4K starter, but I'm, just as like a pun play, all he doesn't need much to get. I'm not doing this against the Dodgers. Okay, I'm good on Mitchell Parker. Good luck to him tonight, facing that lineup here. I have a feeling we may be seeing some Dodgers in our lineups today because of that matchup there. So. Let's move on over to catcher again. We go live again at 4 p.m. Eastern. It'll be myself and Henry Wilson today. So be on the lookout for that show at 4 p.m. Eastern. If we have some more updated lineups, we'll be able to know who's in or out. But strictly looking at the starting catcher position, we like to try to spend down when we can. Is there any standout catching options for you here today, Howard?
I don't think there's anybody who's like a real standout for me here. Looking through, sifting through some of the bargain basement catchers, you could kind of get away with like a Gary Sanchez against the Joe Musgrove, just because he does pitch to a lot of contact. See who's in the lineup for the Braves, because if it's Trump instead of d'Arnaud, then maybe we go for that, right? Trump had a good game. What was that, Friday?
Yeah, the 14 fantasy points. He played yesterday. I don't know what he ended up finishing with. So there's a chance d'Arnaud's back in the lineup with Trump starting yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I would look to see, Joey Bart actually going up against Adrian Hauser could be intriguing if they don't use Henry Davis behind the plate. I think Bart, or even if Bart DHs, he's just been hitting the ball real well lately as well.
Yeah. So again, we'll see who's in and out of the lineup here at the catcher position when we go live at 4 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll kind of sift through where we want to go when it comes to this. But at first base, Olsen 6K against Aaron Getty. Again, Aaron Getty had negative fantasy points in his debut last time out. You got Ohtani and Freeman up there at $6,000 and $5,800. We got Alonso again against the lefty and Martin Perez. Christian Walker against Brown at $5,100. Where are you looking to spend up for today?
I mean, where am I not looking to spend up?
Right.
I mean, Matt Olson, Pete Alonso, they stand out the most, obviously, because of the lefty-righty matchups that you're looking at. And, with the way Alonso hits lefties. So I'm in on that. I'll always be in on a Diamondback stack against Ben Brown. I like Ben Brown as a prospect, but again, I think that this is just a tough Diamondbacks lineup right now through and through, that they're getting, some decent hits, from there. Would not be against using a guy like Goldschmidt going up against, Ross Stripling, because Stripling does throw to contact. But, we're just, they're just not ready yet. They're not, the Cardinals lineup isn't there at this point just yet.
Okay. Again, I think there's some pretty interesting matchups here up at the top that you can target. What are your thoughts on Pasquantino at 43?
Oh, I think, so to me today, a Royal stack definitely works. I know that, Henry and I tried playing around with that on Friday, and it didn't really pan out as well. But again, when you're looking at, a right-hander like Nick Nastrini, and you're looking at the Royals, whose lineup does hit right-handed pitching very, very well. And you're talking about, guys like Pasquantino, Bobby Witt Jr., MJ Melendez. These guys are all hitting right now. So it's kind of like a ride the wave until it breaks. So I'm definitely fine using Pasquantino in this matchup for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at too. Nick Nastrini, only a couple of starts, obviously, this year at AAA, but not good. 7 innings, 6 earned runs allowed, and 12 hits over those 2 starts there for AAA Charlotte. So, he's getting the call up, and now facing a Royals lineup that, starting to heat up. They did have Salprez leave yesterday's game. I don't know what his status is going to look like for today, but still Pasquantino, Melendez, Witt. So I agree with you when you're looking in the mid tier. Pasquantino to me is one that definitely stands out. Looking at some value, where do you look to go? I mean, are we buying the home run streak here for Michael Busch? He's got 4 straight games now with a homer.
How great has that been, man? That's been a lot of fun to watch. I mean, it's a tougher matchup for him against Merrill Kelly. I don't mind that. We hopped right over Encarnacion Strand, who has woken up. I mean, 4 for 14 over the weekend. Popped a nice, he had 3 RBI on Friday, popped a nice home run on Sunday's slate. So I definitely like, looking at him as well. But yeah, I mean, to your point there, going down to Michael Busch. I think that is that's 100% in play. Rowdy Tellez even going up against Adrian Hauser. It's a nice little lefty righty matchup. I think that can work as well if you want to pay all the way down.
Yeah, Bauer's also starting to heat up for Milwaukee. I know we've gone back and forth with Bauer's over his career. Never really lived up to the hype that many thought he was going to be when he was a prospect. But Joe Musgrave has not looked good over his first couple starts of the year here. If those struggles continue, you get a lefty bat. He's got a little bit of power in him, as you can see over the last 3 games here, driving in some RBIs, getting multi-hits, scoring runs. The Brewers lineup sneaky. There's a lot of lefties in that lineup that can kind of do some damage there today, even though Yelich is out. So I would look for Bowers potentially as a stack against Musgrove here, given that they're home. But that's probably it for me for when it comes to value.
Yeah, probably.
Right. Second base then. Mookie, dual positional eligibility there, 64. Probably going to be looking to play Mookie Betts against Parker. Again, Albie is against Aaron Getty. It's a righty versus Albie's, but he's fine. Altuve homered twice yesterday. Rare double home run game from Altuve, but we always know he has it in the bag there. So really, there's a lot of good options at second base. Gorman's got power. Yeah. Xander's in the mid tier there. I mean, what are your go-to plays here?
That's kind of where I was looking right there, was that middle part of the lineup, Nolan Gorman and Xander Bogaerts, both in really good spots for that. I also like, if you wanted to go down a little bit more, Jared Triolo from the Pirates. He's been playing real well. Again, Adrian Hauser pitches to a lot of contact, not a very strong player. I would kind of look at Triolo as a possibility if you are paying down even further.
Sure. I like him and then Terang again. I've been in on the Brewers a lot this year. I think I'll probably find myself looking to stack, but again, a lefty bat against Musgrove, and when he gets on base, we know he's looking to run. So hitting 360 there, he's only $3,800. What I've been finding so far the last couple of slates here, Howard, is that Milwaukee makes for a nice complementary stack to your big spend guys because they're all cheap. You can play a lot of Milwaukee Brewers and then play the Braves with them or play the Astros with them or something like that. So I find myself kind of treading with Milwaukee here. Now, is Musgrove the spot to attack? I don't know. He's been tough to start this year. Maybe that gives you a little bit of leverage there on Milwaukee, but certainly some risk. We always talk Kevin Biggio when a righty's on the mound. He hits in the middle of their lineup. Sitting over 300 still. We're 3 weeks into the season. He's still there.
Yeah.
So we expected a drop off, and it hasn't come yet for out of Kevin Biggio.
Still kind of early. I mean, let's not face value. Today is April. It's April 15th. It's not like we're in the middle of June yet. But yeah, I agree with you. I think it's definitely it's worth that look if you're going to go against Hill and the Yankees. Yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't.
And then after that, again, I don't think there's much else down here. Was there anything for you for bottom out value?
No, I don't think so. I think that's it's about as low as we'll go here for unless you want to get Monasterio in there because you want to get another Brewers bat.
Yeah, I mean, he actually got optioned yesterday. So
did he?
Yeah.
Look at that. I didn't see
that.
They
needed outfield depth, so they called somebody else up there. Third base.
All right.
Riley and Arrighetti obviously would make some sense. Riley does hit righties pretty well for a lot of power there. We talk Kansas City. Michael Garcia up to 4,900 feels a little bit too expensive, but
because he's not a power guy, right? Yeah. I mean, I get the stolen base potential is there, and the Royals are hot right now, but 4,900 for Michael Garcia is just too much for me.
Yeah, not for me. Not for me. All right. Well, then, what are you looking at here? Because I find on this slate, generally third base is pretty loaded. I don't really love a lot that's here. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, Machado's in play against Ross, obviously. Cabrian Hayes going up against Adrian Hauser. I think you can get away with here. Morel going up against Merrill Kelly, I think is it works. Again, I think you could also just go Reds against Kirby if you don't think that George Kirby is right. I mean, that's right. Candelario sitting there at 3,900. I think that works. JD Davis, I don't like him against Sonny Gray though. No. Oswaldo Cabrera.
Yeah, I was trying to see what better split is for Cabrera. Doesn't really seem like it's too drastic. This year, super limited sample size, he's been much better from the left side of the plate. His numbers have kind of sucked just in general in his cups of coffees there with the Yankees. But this year he's definitely hitting better against right-handed pitching. So and we know Bassett struggles against lefties there. So yeah, that Oswaldo Cabrera works for me. Yeah. I like that shout out there. I had been playing a lot of Beatty, but I'm not going to do it against a lefty.
There ain't nothing down here.
I mean, you mentioned Tyler Wade the other day.
You could look to Joey Ortiz if he's in the lineup for Milwaukee.
Sure.
But yeah, there's nothing down below. It's barren.
We'll have to see if any lineups come out with some value, but for the most part, I think we're probably. I might just be plugging in Oswaldo Cabrera there at that point. Shortstop again, Mookie is there. Bobby Witt coming off just a monster series against Seattle. Ellie $5,600. O'Neal Cruz with a lot of power against Hauser seems pretty appealing to me. What are you looking to do at the top?
I mean, listen, if I'm stacking Royals, I got to get Bobby Witt in there. If I'm going to be able to try and squeeze Mookie Betts in, I'd probably try and throw him in over at second base. It's going to be very difficult to get two such high-priced guys. To get two guys over $6K in your lineup gets a little ugly. You're going to have to really dig in for some value for where we're at there. But
sure.
I definitely would. One or the other, 100%. I'm happy to do that. Paying down a little further here, you said, like you pointed out, Francisco Lindor, good against lefties. Anthony Volpe going up against Chris Bassett. I think that definitely works as well.
Mm-hmm. And Pena's always there.
Pena against Vines. Yeah. So Darius Vines is, I mean, it's a very, very similar situation that the Braves are doing here that they did last week with Alan Winans. They brought him up to serve as a middle reliever. And then they were just like, screw it. Let's just let him start. And so he's kind of getting that look there. So I think that Pena against Vines probably works well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely that. I said Bobby Witt did it against Seattle. It was the Mets this weekend that Bobby Witt had a big week against. Pena against Vines, definitely. I've been plugging a lot of him in there anyways. Value plays. Let's see here. Anything that's an obvious value play?
I don't think anything obvious. Blaze Alexander definitely works still if you're stacking Diamondbacks in that matchup. But no, I don't think there's
go back to Mason Wynn, maybe.
You could go to Mason Wynn, but
back-to-back games, double hits, stolen base, got script playing.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. That'd probably be the only consideration for me down there. Not even a great one, but he's been a little bit better of late there. Outfield. It's where all the big spends are. You kind of find your stack. We say this every day. But we do talk lefties against Bassett. So Juan Soto, who is currently your leader for American League MVP odds.
And rightfully so. Dude's got a 420 on base percentage right now. Dude's just a monster at the plate.
Yeah, lefties this year have a 481 average, an 852 slug, and a 597 WOBA against Chris Bassett. Now, obviously, a small sample size, but that basically means that they are hammering him. Mm-hmm. He has had no luck again against left-handed. He's faced 32 lefties. He's given up 13 hits, 3 homers already. So plug in some Juan Soto today, even if it's a one-off play. He's probably my top overall bat.
Yeah, probably. Alvarez and Tucker both against Vines, the lefty bats. That's definitely going to work. You can throw in Spencer Steer there against George Kirby if you're looking to pump up some Reds.
Steer leads the league in RBI right now. Who would have seen that coming?
I don't know. I definitely wouldn't have said that he was going to be leading the RBI total, but I was definitely in on Spencer Steer. I was, more digging on the fact that he had that third base and outfield eligibility.
Yeah.
Which made him great for season-long fantasy. But yeah, he's definitely, he's worked his way up there.
Still, Marcell Ozuna continues to hammer the baseball.
Yep, and now he's all priced up.
Mm-hmm.
All nice and fat.
I missed the $4,600 Marcell Ozuna days. How long ago they were. J-Rod down to 5K. Listen, I get it. Seattle's offense is not good, and neither is he. But I mean, that price keeps coming down. Eventually, you're going to start taking some shots with Julio Rodriguez. Teoscar versus a lefty at 49. You definitely get, if you want to get some Dodgers today, you definitely want to get some Teoscar Hernandez in your lineup.
Michael Harris against Arrighetti.
You know, I'm a big Michael Harris
I beat you to it.
You did. You did. Fraley's been really good. Again, if you're not on Kirby, he's $4,400. Lars Nootbaar's back for St. Louis.
Hit a home run in his first game back.
Yep. Again, gets the lefty bat against Stripling in that one. Brandon Donovan's been hot again. $4,200 is there. Melendez, we've talked about, 4K. I mean, I think Royals certainly can be a nice stack for your lineups today as well.
Yeah, Connor Joe's actually been pretty good as well.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think they won't lead him off against a righty, but I know that he's been up there in the top part of the order for
definitely some better splits against lefties, but I can see him. You know, he's an everyday player for them, so if they get going, that works. Let's see what else we have done.
Will Benson got on base 5 times the other day. He's looking pretty good again. If you want to go with those Reds against George Kirby,
right?
I think that definitely works for you as well.
Swinski hit the grand slam yesterday for Wheeler. If you want to just kind of go for a power bat against Hauser there, I think that could play $3,600. You have Kelenic obviously against Arrighetti. He's going to hit the bottom of that lineup. Maybe Arrighetti doesn't last long enough for Kelenic to get in that bat against them there. But Sal Frelick, again, you get some of these lefty bats for Milwaukee. They're all going to start coming up here now.
Sure, absolutely. Verdugo looks significantly better also with his plate discipline. I think he's a nice play. I like Jackson Merrill here, the lefty bat for the Padres going up against Joe Ross.
Yeah, I'm waiting for some sort of additional, like, it's great that he's getting on base and he's getting the RBI, but like either power or speed, something has to develop at some point. I know he's a rookie, and he's still cheap enough to have it work out, but I would like to see some signs of pop coming out of that bat. It's a little more at some point there.
I'll ask him for you. I'll text him.
Thanks, Ed. Let him know.
John needs a little something.
Is waiting for the breakout there. Blake Perkins was someone I called out on the show to you. I think it was on Friday that I've been plugging in. Dude, this guy, 2 home runs, couple of stolen bases, 3 games over 20 fantasy points in the last 5. Should be in the lineup there with Yelich out. So again, if you want to go Milwaukee and you don't think Musgrove is ready to go, definitely some cheap bats there. You have Jake McCarthy down here. Let's see. What else do we have?
Where's Jock Peterson? I was looking.
He's up in the 4K range. What
the hell is he doing up in the 4K range?
Yeah, 3,900. Jock Peterson.
Okay, that's not bad. 39's not terrible.
Nope. Good bat there against Browns.
It's not terrible.
I'm trying to see if there's anything other super cheap plays down here.
Kike Hernandez. I mean, if you want to just get a little slice of the Dodgers lineup, if he's in that lineup against
you're going to get him and Chris Taylor in the lineup today against the lefty. So both of those guys will play. I agree. No arguments there. They called up Joey Weimer. That was the Yelich.
Joey Weimer. Yeah, definitely.
I just saw him. Where was he?
He's right down at 2,500.
Is a righty, so against Musgrove, so not what we're looking to stack necessarily, but he was the one that got the call there. Anything else for you?
No, there's nothing else down here. Like, I mean, you could, I'm not going to use like Lawrence Butler or Dominic Fletcher against, decent guys there, decent pitching matchups. So no, nothing really down there. I mean, I like the fact that we've got some potential value here, right? I mean, we could look at a guy like Weimer, could look at a guy like Oscar Colas, who's going to probably be in the lineup here against Seth Lugo. He's only 2,500 as well. So
sure.
Alec Burleson, if he's around at 2,700, if he's in that lineup here against Ross Stripling, don't hate that.
All right, so plugged in Gray and Lugo. Oswaldo Cabrera and Juan Soto is like starting point. So we have 3,900.
Okay.
We know we're going to spend down a catcher. We just don't know where we're going to spend down a catcher.
All right, so let's plug somebody nice and cheapy in there, somebody reasonable that we could go. Oh, you want to go Gary Sanchez? You want lefty bats?
No, I can go Gary Sanchez. He hits righties. That's fine.
Okay.
So we could go Pasquantino here.
Yeah, dude. Listen, I would love to go Pasquantino there. We just got to make sure that we're locking in Bobby Witt.
Yeah, let's see. Can we get Bobby Witt in here? We probably can. 3,200. So we're gonna need a spend down somewhere, either second base or outfield, to get us some money here. Let's see.
Well, we just gave you a couple of outfield spend downs there.
Yeah, let's see. Do we have a cheat? You gave us Colas. We're going Lugo. Let's see. You said Burleson. Is he gonna be in the lineup today?
I don't know. How much was your boy Blake Perkins?
I think it was over 3K. 32 on the dots. That works.
Okay.
3,300.
What was Merrill? What was Jackson Merrill?
34 or 34. All right, so we got 3,200 second baseman. 3,200 second baseman. Kevin Biggio plugs in.
Nice. It's your boy.
There you go. There you go. So example lineup for everybody there. I'll zoom in for Howard. There you go. Excuse me. Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray, Seth Lugo, Gary Sanchez, Vinny Pasquantino, Kevin Biggio, Oswaldo Cabrera, Bobby Witt, Juan Soto, Blake Perkins, and Jackson Merrill. As an example lineup for everybody there today. Again, we'll be back live at 4 p.m. Eastern time to get you ready. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button to get notified when we do go live here on the Fantasy Alarm YouTube channel. Howard, any final thoughts here today?
No, you know what? Enjoy Patriots Day, everybody. You get real early baseball. I think it's starting at like 11 in the morning Eastern
Monday
time
here in Boston. I got a buddy running the Boston Marathon today, Howard. So,
man,
shout out to my guy Scotty.
I'll tell you what, it's not going to be in my best bets article, but I would take the Red Sox on the first 5 inning. They're probably no value on the money line, but I think their team total is over 2.5 runs for the first 5 innings. Yeah. I would definitely take that. The Guardians are going to come out super sluggish. They just had a nice little extra inning game win against the Yankees, and they're throwing some dude named Xavier Curry.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say the first 5 inning team total there for the Red Sox.
I like it. I like it. All right, again, we'll see you back at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Hit us in Discord, find us on Twitter. We'll talk to you then.